What's going on, guys? My name's Elias Dell, and thank you for checking out this video. Today I wanted to do a bit of a triple video. It's going to be an unboxing, a review, and a looking back on my old camera bag. Now, camera bags aren't generally super exciting, but in my case it is because I'm getting a new one today. So right here to my right is the Lower Pro. That's all I know about it. It's a Lower Pro backpack. I'm not sure about the model and number, but it's a pretty old one, at least 10 years old I'm pretty sure, if not more. And when I got started in photography and videography, my girlfriend's dad actually let me borrow it because he used to do wedding photography. Now, this thing is pretty big, you know. It's not like a suitcase, but it's not like a school backpack, if you will. The size is good. It's good and bad. The size of it allows me to carry a bunch of stuff, like all my lenses, extra cameras, any accessories, anything I could use for any shoot imaginable. But where the downside of it is if I'm going like downtown just to do like a vlog or something's not equipment heavy, and I don't have anything else to carry it in that I trust. Like, I don't want to put any of my expensive camera lenses and accessories in like a regular backpack because it doesn't have that extra cushioning, so it could very easily break. That's where this backpack comes in handy because it's pretty protective of that stuff. Again, the only downside I found is that it's so big that if I'm not utilizing it to its like maximum potential, it's more of a burden than anything. So that, along with he actually wants it back, has brought me to buy this. Now I'm going to unbox it here in just a second and show you what it is. But I did a decent amount of research, and it was really I narrowed it down between two things. The one I got, and then something called a Hex brand camera sling. It's kind of like a messenger bag for a camera, but it's small enough that it can carry like one camera and maybe two lenses with a couple of accessories, which I found more recently that's all I really need. For me personally, I only really use two lenses. That's going to be either a wide angle lens like the one I'm using right now, which is I think it's a Tamron EFS 10 to 24 millimeter, and a 70 to 200. That's my go-to, portrait lens, just kind of run and gun everything. So I just love the length of it and the shallow depth of field with it. Now I do have a 50 millimeter 1.8 from Canon, which is super nice, and it's small, so it'll fit pretty much anywhere. But I'm actually looking to get a new wide angle lens because the one I'm using right now on the camera is also my girlfriend's dad's, and he is taking all of his equipment back so he can start photographing his son with skateboarding. So Jeffrey, if you're watching, thank you very much for letting me borrow all of your gear to get accustomed with this craft that is photography. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and unbox this, or unbag this, and get started with that. Alright, here it is. I don't know if you can see that. The lighting here isn't super great. I'm lending my studio lights to Richard for the podcast. So I apologize if the lighting is less than good, whatever. So yeah, I went with the Brevite. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's not how I originally thought it was pronounced. But the Brevite, what's the name of this one? The Jumper, the original Jumper backpack. Now this one looks like just like a good old-fashioned regular backpack. It is black. I prefer neutral colors. They have it in, I think, like blue, gray, yellow, and white, which all look good, but I just prefer the black, if you couldn't tell from this. Now, when you look at it, it looks like a pretty standard, just good old-fashioned backpack. But there's a couple of accessories on it. So on the bottom, these right here, if you can see that, is to put a tripod in. I don't have one on me, otherwise I would slide it right in there, but you can put it in there and strap these, and boom, your tripod's on there. On the side, you can use this as like a water bottle holder, or I think also as a tripod holder if you have a small one. On the other side is a accessible zipper. I'll show that in just a minute. Excuse me. Right here at the top, there's a zipper for a laptop of sorts. It goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but my whole arm fit in there. And that's where you would put your tablet, your computer, your MacBook, whatever you got going on there, in case you need to travel. Now going to this top section. Now I wish I had an overhead camera, but I don't, so bear with me, please. Now this one is gonna do, let's see here, let me make sure I got this right. So this one, okay, scratch that, we're going back one. So right here, the most outer layer version of this backpack right here has a compartment that is really small, and it's kind of there for accessories, you know, SD cards, batteries, phone, wallet, keys, passport, whatever you really want to fit in there. There's 4 slots, so it's not super deep in terms of storage, but it'll work for what I need it for. Now the reason I actually picked this bag over another big size bag like this is again because the mobility of it. You know, I only carry around a camera, a microphone, and maybe 2 lenses, and having all that in here is just too much for me. So if I ever get into big events where I need multiple pieces of gear, then maybe I'll look back at investing in a bigger one. But for me right now, this smaller one, I'm really liking a lot. I look forward to using it out in the real world, and I might even go smaller. Honestly, I'm not using too much gear. So let's continue with the backpack. Now there's a second zipper right behind the one I just showed you, which is kind of the reason I got this backpack. Now a lot of backpacks have this, but this one, with the size, the aesthetics, and the usability of it, I was just really happy with it. So when you open up that second zipper, it opens up the bottom compartment. So there's a bottom compartment and a top compartment, right? Now the bottom compartment is actually where you would fit all of your camera gear, and they have these Velcro dividers, so you can organize your backpack exactly for what you need. So I'll do that here in just a minute, but you got plenty of them, so I can have it set up so I can have a section for my camera, a section for a mic, a section for a lens, you know, so on and so forth. And then it's also padded in here, so it feels pretty nice. And then if you go from the top, it does connect, but what I'm going to do is set it up so that it does not connect, because there's a Velcro inside of it that you can adjust, and I can't really describe it, but there's Velcro lined inside of it that I'm setting up. So what's going to happen is the bottom compartment is just going to be camera gear, and then the top compartment is now blocked off with a Velcro wall. So now the top one I'm going to be using for, you know, everyday gear, such as, you know, jackets, hats, maybe my phone, wallet, keys, anything I'm kind of running a gun with that I don't want to fit in my pockets, but I also don't want to put in the camera section of it. All right, so I'll set these up in just a minute, but let's say you close that up, you're wearing it on your back, you're walking on the street, you see something you want to take a photograph of. Instead of taking the whole bag off your shoulders, putting it on the ground, zipping it up, the side panel here, you zip that open, and you have quick access to your camera. So that is just where we just were. If I can figure it out. There it is. So yeah, so where I just was, it comes out to right here, so bam. And once I get it all set up, I'll have it accessible so that the camera will be on that side. So all you have to do is zip that open, put your hand in there, grab it out, and vice versa, put it back. And then you're good to go. So that was really the biggest reason I wanted to go with this backpack, or this style of backpack, as I really wanted a side panel access to the camera. Because there's been multiple times where I'd be walking around, you know, downtown or something with the big one, and I see something I want to photograph, but instead of, you know, taking it off, put it on the floor, opening it up, grabbing the camera, and then framing the shot or whatever, it's just like, it feels like it's too much work, so I just don't do it at all. And then I sometimes regret not taking that shot. So with this, I think I'll have more accessibility to my camera whenever I want, because I can open it from the top, from the middle, or from the side. Especially if you're wearing it, just zip it open, sling it out, take a picture, sling it back, and you're good to go. Now that was right. I wanted to get the Hex brand DSLR sling, because again, that's just like a messenger bag, goes right across your shoulder, or your chest, I mean, and it's just extremely easy to access the camera, which is kind of my biggest thing that I was looking for with a new bag. Also something a little more lightweight and also still, you know, decent sized looking. Now, the biggest problem I see with a camera like this is if you're walking around somewhere you're not familiar with or whatever, and somebody recognizes that this is a camera bag, they can just as easily sling it open, you know, zip that side panel open, steal that camera, and you're done, you know. So that's a little concerning, but I'm usually pretty protective over my gear. You know, if I go into a restaurant or a store or whatever, I kind of hold it tight or hold it in a way that I can see what's happening with it. So that's something else that a lot of camera companies camera bag companies are working on when designing their bags, is making it so that you can't steal the stuff as easily. In the past, the zippers are on the outside. Nowadays, I've seen a lot of cameras that you have to actually zip it open from the back. So if you're wearing it, it's like impossible to open it up. But that's going to be it for my, unboxing and little review. I'm going to go ahead and set this up real quick and show you how I have it set up. And then I guess that'll be the end of the video. So I'll catch you in just a minute. Alright, switching over to the handheld mode for just a minute. I want to show you kind of how I broke it down and set up the bag. So automatically on the end, I put the tripod in just so you kind of see what that's like. Generally on this side, I'd have like a water bottle or something. Starting with the outside pocket. Right here it's just going to be some storage stuff. So I have like a notebook, some pens, some batteries, SD cards. My business cards are in there. So, lightweight small things that you don't need access to a lot of the time. But it's nice to have. And then when you open up the pack, this is how I have it set up. So normally I have my camera actually right here. So I have my 70-200, my 50mm, my camera, and I couldn't figure out a way to put my microphone that I'm using right now in here. So what I'm going to do for the time being is put the microphone in this top section, just kind of by itself, because I'm not really wearing a jacket a lot these days, I guess. But yeah, it'll go right here, and here's that little metal, Velcro padding that kind of differs, cuts it in half. And then something else I actually didn't know was actually this inside pocket. I just saw this right now as I'm recording. There's another pocket inside here for even more stuff, so extra storage. I guess you could use that for like wallet, phone, keys, passports if you're traveling, because that's kind of hidden. Honestly, I didn't even know that existed. But I'm gonna put my microphone in there for now, and then again we still have the like laptop sleeve right here, but I don't have a laptop, so I won't be using that. But I'm going to fold this back up real quick, and then again we remember the side angle. Once I open this up, if I had my camera in there, the one I'm actually using to record this with, then you would open this up and it would be bam right there. So you can just grab it and go, and then zip it up and go again. Alright. So I went ahead and sorry, green screen. I went ahead and tested it out, wore it for a second. I didn't give it a full day's work, but I put it on, and the sleeves aren't like the most comfortable, but it's also not uncomfortable, especially the lightweight factor of the whole backpack and the lack of like equipment I'm using really makes it I think better for me, at least, depending again on like the size and the weight of your equipment and how much you have. You may vary, but if you're like me and you only really use like 4 or 5 pieces of equipment, I think this is a good bag. And the side sleeve thing that I kind of bought the bag for, in like the 5 minutes that I tested it, it was really cool. The only like downside, I guess if I had to say, is I can't really access it when I'm having the bag like both straps on. So what I have to do is take the right strap off, kind of sling it around my chest, and then zip it, which is still faster than taking it off, putting it on the floor, opening it up, taking it out, and doing all of that. But yeah, overall I think I'm going to like this bag. Definitely like the color and the design and the many accessories and sleeves that it has. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you want to get this bag? Would you get this bag? What kind of bags are you looking for? I know bags aren't like the most interesting subject, but I figured this would be a cool video just to kind of show it off. If you're looking for a new bag, it's the Brevite jumper bag. They have a bunch of other ones, but I think this one's the best one for me. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.